Before gods cast their first light across the cosmos, before the planes were stitched into existence, there were the elder evils. Ancient, malignant entities born not from creation, but from the absence of it. Beings that are as natural to the void as stars are to the sky. The elder evils predate the multiverse itself. They are remnants of a time before form and purpose, a primordial chaos that the gods and primordials sought to bury when they shaped reality. Yet they cannot be destroyed, for they are not life, not matter, but concepts of entropy, oblivion, and madness. Elder evils lurk on the fringes of existence. They have always been and always will be. Although they can be as powerful as demigods, sometimes more so, they are not deities. They aren't interested in mortals except to wipe them out. Gods create and attend their creations. Elder evils threaten reality. Such power is difficult to conceal. Today, we discuss the far realm and the major entities that control the vast space where incomprehensible horrors exist and where reality does not show its true meaning. The elder evils are remnants of an age before time, existing when the multiverse itself was raw and formless. In this primordial chaos, they thrived, embodying entropy, destruction, and madness. Some legends suggest they are older than the gods of Faerun, ancient echoes of forgotten forces that even the deities dared not challenge directly. When Selûne and Shar shaped the heavens and created the first stars, they found the elder evils already entrenched in the chaos. Rather than annihilate them, a feat even the gods might have found impossible, they sought to imprison or banish them. But sealing these beings came at great cost. Some gods perished in these wars, their divine essence fueling the barriers that now hold the elder evils at bay. Yet these barriers are not eternal. Throughout Faerun's history, there have been moments when the elder evils stir, their slumber disturbed by mortal ambition, divine neglect, or the natural erosion of their prisons. Atropos, the world-born dread, drifts through the gulfs of space, searching for worlds to consume, and, when it finds them, erasing all life with its gruesome touch. As the afterbirth of creation, it is committed to unmaking all things. Nothing, not even the gods, can halt its relentless progress. According to scribes, creation was the result of a prime mover. This being's identity varies with each particular story. Most believe and agree that this entity must be the force behind the gods springing forth into existence from the primeval void. In order for the gods to take shape, there must have been a sacrifice. For life to exist, there must be death. Atropos must have caused its own death, and in that sense became the afterbirth of creation, the wasted materials left over from the formation of the gods. This being must be their inversion, death incarnate, drawing its own power, such as it is, from the lower planes, and negative energy. Little remains of the prime mover that made the supreme sacrifice, nothing more than a decaying, disembodied head, leaving in its wake cast-off necromantic waste that floats through the void. Atropos is still bound to unmake living things, to absorb their souls in a massacre of violence. Its touch is terrifying to witness, as countless barren worlds crawling with restless dead mutely testify. Hadar is a sentient, dying star that feeds on the light of others. Unlike the other elder evils, Hadar's influence is cosmic, felt most strongly by warlocks who draw their power from the far realm. In Faerun, Hadar's cults are scattered but dangerous, seeking to summon fragments of the star to Toril. Legends tell of Hadar's attempts to extinguish Selûne's light during the Dawn War, an act that would have plunged the world into eternal darkness. Selûne's followers still watch the skies, fearing the return of this cosmic predator. Hadar's dying state is both a curse and a boon to its existence. As a dying star, it radiates hunger and desperation, seeking to consume all light to prolong its life. This relentless consumption connects it intrinsically to the far realm, where its essence shifts between the dying cosmos and the chaos beyond. Some scribes speculate that Hadar's connection to the far realm grows stronger as it weakens, making it an even greater threat. A mote of alien thought given form and flesh, Father Limerick is not of this world. He dwells in an icy prison, awaiting a time when the world will be right for his coming. As his age of freezing darkness draws near, his brood begins to appear, stalking the wastes in preparation for his reign. The most powerful of elves spent much of their time in near-endless research and study. They sought to know what lied beyond the vast and varied planes of existence. As a part of this search, they constructed a great many gates and portals to other worlds and planes of existence. In attempting to peer beyond the veils of infinity, they finally built their greatest creation, the vast gate, designed to pierce the boundaries of the planes. What they found destroyed them. Legends hold that the vast gate opened a rift in reality, allowing a glimpse into a place known only as the Far Realm. This place of alien geometry, maddening thoughts, and toxic natural law was antithetical to mortal life. Even as the elves tried to close the gate, strange things slipped through, forever tying the world to the Far Realm. Although many of these entities have surfaced over the years only to be banished or destroyed, some remain to spread their foul taint. Creatures of the Far Realm do not obey natural laws. Their alien nature is deadly to those who come in contact with them. However, the world can affect them in strange ways as well. Ancient records made by the Vast Gate survivors note that some of the Far Realm entities could not live in the world. Some died unnatural deaths, while others merely ceased to function, going into a sort of dormancy, until conditions would be right for them to thrive. One such entity seemed to have an aversion to light. Although it was paralyzed, some aspect of this creature remained able to send illusory projections, beckoning the unwary to visit his unmoving form. These projections gave Father Limerick his name, since the twisted monstrosity was hidden beneath an illusion of a kindly old man. Although dormancy, Father Limerick still proved deadly. Those fooled by his illusions were soon tainted by his corruption and had to be destroyed. Although exposing him to light caused dormancy, it also caused his form to radiate waves of deadly cold. Soon, sheets of ice began to engulf his body. The elves moved him to a mountaintop, in which his chill would not harm anyone, and the light of the sun might keep him dormant forever. Over time, he seeped deep beneath the spine of the world. Entire tribes of Uthgard barbarians have vanished, their minds shattered by the creeping madness that emanates from his icy prison. Father Limerick's essence is intrinsically tied to the Far Realm, his madness spreading through planar fissures created during the spell plague. Piscathses is the progenitor of the Aboleths, a living god who slumbers beneath the sea of fallen stars. Her influence is most potent in coastal regions, where entire fishing villages have disappeared, leaving behind only blood-red tides and whispers of aberrant worship. Her children, the Aboleths, view themselves as extensions of her will. They infiltrate mortal societies, spreading her corruption and preparing for the day she rises to reclaim the surface. The Aboleths know this entity by the name of Blood Queen, for it is from her blood that the primal Aboleth was spawned. Piscathses has since retreated from the physical world, and although insane cultists periodically attempt to call the Blood Queen back, she never stays for long. Her interests lie beyond this dimension. The Aboleths understand this, and they know that the Blood Queen didn't spawn them out of scientific curiosity or a need for companionship. The creation was simply a byproduct of the interaction between the Blood Queen's body and the material world. Piscathses' influence is directly tied to the Far Realm, as some scribes believe she was the first to open a rift between that chaotic plane and Faerun. This breach allowed aberrations to flood into the material plane, forever altering the Underdark. Created by the hubris of the Imaskari, Pandarim was meant to destroy the gods themselves. When the Imaskari realized they could not control it, they divided its essence. Its body remains in an unmarked tomb, while its mind roams the astral plane. Even in its fragmented state, Pandarim's psionic presence is felt in Faerun. Those who stumble upon the ruins of Imaskar often report hearing whispers promising power in exchange for release, only to succumb to madness. Pandarim seeks, above all else, the reunion of its potent mind with its unstoppable form. From those whose minds hold up, at least for a time, to the impossible might of its psyche, the terrible weapon has learned of the destruction of its betrayers. It suspects that descendants might yet exist, of those who lured and snared it, and once it achieves freedom, it will seek revenge on those innocents for the crimes of their ancestors. It will fulfill the contract it made eons ago by obliterating every deity it finds in this reality. The Elder Evils are far older than most of the mortal races and deliver horrifying images to mortal minds. However, much as they might desire to enter and dominate the material plane, the Elder Evils are unable or unwilling to leave their realms. The creatures known as Starspawn are the heralds, servants, foot soldiers, and lieutenants of the Elder Evils, capable of taking on forms that can journey to the material plane. They arrive most often in the wake of a comet, or perhaps such a phenomenon merely signals that Starspawn are in the vicinity and available for communication. When the signs are right, warlocks and cultists hasten to gather together, read aloud their blasphemous texts, and conduct the mind-searing rituals that guide the blazing Starspawn into the world. Fanged and lipless, the ever-grinning, madly staring Gru lopes about on spindly legs and long arms. Bristles and spines project from off patches of its pallid skin, and its long fingers end in broken and dirty nails. Grus are the weakest of the Starspawn. Their constant chittering and shrieking produces discordant psychic energy that disrupts through patterns in other creatures. Intelligent creatures experience flashing colors, hallucinations, disorientation, and waves of hopelessness when they find themselves near a group of these horrifying creatures. The Hulk is the largest of the known Starspawn. Though ogre-like in stature, the Hulk's glistening translucent skin reveals a muscled form devoid of an ogre's fat. Pale and seemingly lidless eyes glare balefully from a face distorted by too many teeth and too little nose. Hulks are seldom encountered without a commanding seer nearby, as the Hulk seems to have little will of its own. This creature can take any form of psychic attack, and through its horrific mind, an outworldly psyche, redirect this energy to all who are within its presence. A Starspawn seer is most often encountered as the leader of a cult that worships one or more of the Elder Evils. Usually, the seer is the only cult member that grasps the full extent of the horror the cult is venerating. An entity that appears as a Starspawn seer in the material plane usually arrives as something different, something disembodied. When a warlock or other spellcaster establishes communication with it, the seer entity takes control of the mortal's form and spirit, transforming it into a Starspawn seer. Whoever the seer once was largely vanishes beneath the corpulent bulk of tumorous skin that builds up in strange whorls all over the seer's body. Hands become bulky, flipper-like appendages capable of grasping their strange staffs, formed of some blend of flesh, bone, and far realm essence. The seer's goal is to tap the energy sources and master the rites that will enable it to extend a bridge between the vulnerable sanity of the material plane and the squirming madness of an Elder Evil's prison. The Starspawn are most often found near far realm rifts or locations tied to the Elder Evils, such as the Underdark or the ruins of Netheril. The Starspawn are extensions of the Elder Evil's will, sent to prepare the material plane for their master's arrival. Each Starspawn reflects the nature of its creator. Those of Hadar are wreathed in shadows and consume light, while those of Pisethces spread aquatic corruption. To most mortals, the Elder Evils are apocalyptic myths. However, cults across Faerun, like those of the Aboleths or the Necromancers of Thay, see them as sources of ultimate power. These cultists often serve as unwitting pawns, believing they can control the uncontrollable. For the gods of Faerun, the Elder Evils represent an existential threat. Even gods like Mistra and Ogma, who wield immense power, are cautious when dealing with them. Shar, goddess of darkness, may secretly covet their destructive nature, while Selûne works tirelessly to maintain the balance that keeps them at bay. For beings like Aboleths and Illithids, the Elder Evils are objects of reverence or rivalry. Pisethces, in particular, is viewed as a divine progenitor by Aboleths, who believe her power validates their dominion over the Underdark. Illithids, on the other hand, see her as a competitor in their quest to dominate all intelligent life. The Elder Evil's influence varies across Faerun's cities, each responding uniquely to the encroaching chaos of the Far Realm. In the City of Splendors, cults of Pisethces throughout differing years have infiltrated the sewers, where Aboleths spread their corruption through tainted waterways. Entire districts have experienced strange phenomena, such as water flowing red and citizens vanishing without a trace. Laeral Silverhand has tasked adventurers with rooting out these cults, but the scale of the threat remains unknown. Some reports suggest that deeper chambers beneath Mount Waterdeep contain altars dedicated to Pisethces, where sacrifices are made in her name. The ruins of Mithranna bear the scars of Pandarim's lingering psionic influence. Explorers have reported time distortions and bizarre phenomena, such as entire streets vanishing or reappearing miles away. Recently, a Red Wizard enclave attempted to harness the Mythal's residual magic, inadvertently awakening a fragment of Pandarim's consciousness. In the shadow of mortal ambition lies a path fraught with peril, binding one's soul to an Elder Evil in exchange for power. Warlocks who forge pacts with Elder Evils do so at great personal cost, often without realizing the full extent of their decision. These pacts are not alliances, but subjugations, as the power granted always comes with an indelible taint. Hadar's Warlocks, for instance, channel the star's dying essence, manifesting powers that consume light and life. Pisethces' chosen Warlocks find their minds warped by visions of aquatic dominion, while those who serve Father Limerick exude an unnatural cold that freezes both their surroundings and their emotions. In addition to spellcasting, Warlocks might gain unique abilities linked to their patron. The power to summon aberrant minions, manipulate reality in minor but disturbing ways, or influence others through overwhelming psionic force. In Baldur's Gate, the notorious Warlock Clyra Vord sells her services as a diviner, her patron none other than Pandarim's fragmented mind. Her predictions are uncannily accurate, but often lead to madness for those who heed them. The pirate lord Garrick Slough is whispered to have survived countless battles by serving Pisethces, his crew composed entirely of enthralled minions who sing eldritch hymns beneath the waves. The powers granted by these entities come with a price beyond comprehension. Hadar's Warlocks risk having their life force drained prematurely as they serve as conduits for its insatiable hunger. Pisethces' Warlocks often find their bodies transforming, their skin becoming slick and translucent, while their minds are overcome by alien impulses. Perhaps most horrifying, Father Limerick's Warlocks risk succumbing entirely to his influence, their consciousness replaced by an echo of his madness. The creation of a pact begins with a catalyst, a desperate need, a reckless curiosity, or an accidental discovery of forbidden knowledge. Perhaps a scholar uncovers an ancient tome in Candlekeep, its words alive with dark whispers, or a hermit discovers an aberrant idol washed ashore. To complete the pact, the seeker must perform a ritual that establishes a connection with the elder evil. These rituals often require sacrificial acts, perhaps offering one's memories, performing deeds of madness, or delivering innocent lives into corruption. Once the bond is forged, the warlock becomes a conduit for the elder evil's will, gaining immense power, but forever marked as an instrument of their alien intent. As we unravel the layers of Faerun's history, the elder evils stand as grim reminders of forces that defy understanding and challenge the gods themselves. Their influence is insidious, their power immeasurable, and their return inevitable if their bonds are broken or their slumber disturbed. From the cold madness of Father Limerick to the devouring hunger of Hadar, each of these entities reflects a facet of the cosmic terror that lies just beyond the edges of reality. These beings are not merely stories or myths, they are warnings. The ruins of Imaskar, the blood-streaked tides of the Sea of Fallen Stars, the eerie frost creeping down from the spine of the world. These are but fragments of their shadow left on our world. And yet, where there is terror, there is also resilience. The histories of Faerun show us that the mortal heart, though fragile, burns with a defiant light that even the darkest forces cannot extinguish. The elder evils are a call to vigilance, to curiosity, and to wonder at the vastness of what lies beyond. The elder evils teach us that monsters do live in the shadows, and where the darkness creeps, we too must have the strength to step into the void and bring the light. Thank you for watching the video. The last video was our biggest video yet. So again, thank you for the support in making that so successful. We have more videos planned, so like and subscribe to make sure you watch those when they release. Thanks to our members, DJ and Alberto. See you all on the next video.